It's time now to go on patrol with CHP Officer David Singer.
Yes, David, Officer Singer joined us now to talk about pedestrian safety on freeways, highways, and for kids going to school. Thank you very much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so what are some of the most dangerous, craziest / dumbest things you've seen on the highways with pedestrians?
Well, running across the freeway is probably the most unsafe of all things.
Yeah.
Right? The freeway is designed not to allow pedestrians onto it. You know, it's very well controlled. We have signs posted that say no pedestrians, no bicyclists on the freeway. There's not supposed to be any cross traffic whatsoever. So drivers aren't expecting it, right? They're not expecting to see someone or something, whether it's a dog or a person, crossing that freeway. And it's a very dangerous experience. You hope that people are paying attention and slow down if that happens. But people do, because they're late or they got to go somewhere sometimes, they will run across the freeway.
Sometimes there are people soliciting for money or they're trying to collect cans.
Right, yeah. Those things are, on the freeway itself is illegal. Soliciting in any way, shape, or form, or vending within the on-ramp or the off-ramp is also illegal. You're not allowed to do that within 500 feet. That's state property. And so we try to discourage people from hanging out there on the off-ramp.
Well, let's say you're out of your car on the highway because, let's say, an accident or a blowout. Yeah. What should you do to stay safe?
Well, if it's a minor non-injury collision, we encourage people to move their vehicles to a safe location. As officers, we can come in and investigate the situation, and we don't need to know exactly where the cars are at. We can figure it out. We've been doing it for a long time. So we encourage people to move to a safe location. After that, stay in your vehicle if it's safe to do so, even with your seatbelt on if you're on the right-hand shoulder, so you know it's a safe spot. And if you can't do that, if your vehicle can't be moved, you know, go ahead and move well off the freeway, well off the highway, and stand by until policemen arrive.
Okay. And then, is there anything else that you've seen that has been absolutely nutty?
Well, if you've ever driven through a school zone, especially on a middle school or a high school, oftentimes students will walk out into a crosswalk with no regard for traffic. You know,
gosh, yes.
They're looking at their smartphones.
Oh gosh.
You know, they figure I'm going, you know, through this crosswalk.
I have the right of way.
I have the right of way. And oftentimes they're right, but you know, they might lose the fight if the driver's not paying attention. You know, so we just want them to make eye contact with the driver. Make sure you're paying attention. Look at the driver, make eye contact, make sure they see you and you see them before you step out into that crosswalk. And that goes for everybody anywhere, you know. Someone, especially making a right-hand turn, they don't always stop right at the limit line. You know, they'll go halfway into the crosswalk or all the way through before they come to a complete stop. And you don't want to step out in front of that person, for sure.
Okay.
That's pretty dangerous.
Very dangerous.
You know, recently we had that explosion on last week off of Herndon and 99. We got a question from a viewer saying her husband was stuck in there for 2.5 hours. His off-ramp was like a mile away. Is there anything, when you know you're stuck for that long, do you just sit in your car and just wait it out, or can you do anything to escape that situation?
Sure, that's a tough situation. You know, when we have those kind of things, and that was at a bottleneck right on the freeway. It's right at the river. It's so difficult for people to exit the freeway right there, and you never know how long you're going to be stopped in traffic. Right. One of the things we definitely recommend is going to our CHP Central Division Twitter website, and you can sign up and follow it there. And our Traffic Management Center will broadcast things like alternate routes of travel, how long they estimate the closure to be, and stuff like that. So if you're stuck in traffic, you can get a good idea. Should I wait it out here? Should I try to do something about it?
Awesome.
You know, if it's worse weather, the CHP will be out there trying to help people out. Luckily, we had good weather and it wasn't too hot or too cold.
Right.
So,
all right. Thanks.
Thank you, Officer
You're
Singer.
welcome.
Appreciate it. For a link to the CHP and useful driving tips, log on to kmph.com, click on Patrol tab from the Great Day drop-down menu.